All right. So, hello all. Let's begin this session. And well, as we pointed out last week, we were looking for 25,394, and that was absolutely delivered on Friday itself, right? That was done. Now, as for this week, I currently don't hold a bias. We are already at all-time highs. I'm just like it would mostly be intraday movement that would tell me what the market wants to do really. That's a massive gap, definitely, for the open. And the way I see it, it would want to come back into it and eventually into this order block. See this one, huge one right there. So I'm just going to change that to the order block. So yeah, 25,351. That's where we could see this week coming down to, but again, I'm not holding myself to it, not yet at least, until there is some, you know, some more clarity on other time frames, especially the lower ones. As for 12-hour, again, same scenario, nothing in particular that I like. 4-hour, same, just trending. 1 hour, yeah, slowly climbing up. Now, I think, in my opinion, because it's a Monday and we have completed the high time frame objective of 25,394 right there. So we have completed that already, and we opened the week with a gap up. I'm expecting this to be a range bound day overall. In the hourly, of course, like not a very small range one, like I think there would be clear ranges, tradable ranges, if I want to put it that way. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I see that low there, so I'm just going to mark that one out. We have this massive void in between. Will it revisit it right now, this week, next week? Like, can't be said, at least not until the 9:30 opens. Once 9:30 opens, we might have a better idea as to what the market wants to pursue. I like that 30-minute gap, and it would be observation at the moment. I'm not marking it as a draw. I'm not saying the market would want to draw back into it, but I'm just watching right now. I like this low as well. Okay. Seems almost obvious that this low should be taken once 9:30 opens. And then we should see a higher run. That's the narrative right now. Again, I'm just still waiting. Maybe it can take it before that, and then that would be something else altogether. But at this moment, I think that's what is happening. I want to take that low first, then we'll see how it reacts, and most likely it would be a bullish run after that. Yes, I'll watch that gap. At this current moment, this is my draw. So I'm looking at it as a draw right there. I've not yet gone into, yes, I will be going into it in just a short moment. Okay. I mean, nothing else that I see out of the box. Yeah, I see that. That's pretty much taken. So yeah, that's the low we are aiming for. Again, not a trade setup that I'm seeing here at the moment. I'm just watching if the market can reach into it and show me something that it wants to go higher, or maybe show me something that it wants to go lower. Even that would also be appreciated. But let's see. My narrative at the moment stands that it will want to take this out and then go higher. So that's what I'm aiming for yet, like at the moment. As for gaps, I don't see anything particular here. It's very, see, kind of choppy. sorry, kind of spotty, not choppy, wrong word there. Yeah, that's Labor Day for New Zealand, not a concern for me. All right. I think we had some news. I mean, why does this not show it? I don't understand. We had news, but it's not showing that because at 8:30, I believe we had durable goods. I mean, it was there on the US chart for euro, if I'm not wrong. Let me see, 12 hours. Not that one, not this one only. It's interesting. I think I've got it confused there. I do remember seeing something. I was not there for the London session, so I don't know. But I did see something at 8:30. I guess that was not. Yep. All right. Anyway, going back to where we were on the NQ, I do see a lot of spotty price action. You don't see that in NQ a lot. So, like, yeah, that makes me. I'm not saying uncomfortable, but that makes me very wary of the things I do. I'll have to be extra careful today, is what I'm thinking, because see, that's so many volume imbalances right there, right? Everywhere there are some or the other volume imbalances. You just look at that, and I don't like that kind of price action. I mean, that's not what generally works. Like, look here, even though the market was range bound, do you see that many spots open? Not really. It's like pretty much, running in some way or the other, like some sense of movement. But that's not the same view today. This is something like similar to kind of what ES does most of the time. So yeah, all right, let's see what we have in ES. I'm gonna remove all this. I don't want this. I want a fresh approach, a fresh week. So okay, sure, we have decently gapped up, no doubt, same as NQ. Again, I would say we should be coming back to this order block. This order block looks very decent. It would want to support prices again, is how I'm seeing it. I'm just going to mark that one out. Probably in 2 and probably in blue, right? So that volume imbalance, I'm just going to let it be for now. Moving on to a 12-hour, same approach, same picture, nothing that looks out of the box here. This looks slightly more like not bearish, like slightly more consolidating compared to NQ right here. That's interesting. That's 4 hour for NQ, and see, NQ has been slightly bullish. At the same time, ES has been kind of consolidating. Sorry, 1 hour right there. Again, same approach. It's consolidating right here inside that big candle for the open. It should be almost obvious that the market would want to come down lower. And it's yet to open, so let's see. There would be a massive gap because right now we are trading at 68,885. So yeah, that should be a decent gap on the RTH. Now come to 15 minute. We're almost there, like 3 minutes, 3 minutes and 40 seconds for the New York Open, AM session open. Now see what does this one, what does this one look like? Like it wants to go to the relative equal highs, right? Right there. That is what it looks like to me right now. And what does that tell me now? That NQ may or may not be the bearish one, as I was thinking. Like bearish as in like I said, it wants to take that stop, right? So it may not do that right now. Let's see once 9:30 opens, we'll have a better approach. As for this guy is still in consolidation inside a range, and I'm not fucking with it in any manner. Nothing that I like, honestly. Now if ES takes the high right here, and if NQ does the same, taking that high, then yeah, I would be looking for short setups right there. I would be expecting some kind of bearish structure for this gap right here for NQ. As for ES, I'm still watching. Both of them have to align with the principle that I'm saying right now if they want to go down. I would know what needs to be done once the market opens. Whatever it does would give us the fresh approach. You see how price action is getting better, less spottier. Like look at this price action right here, and then look at this much. See, it's much more on the complete sense. It's not lots of gaps and volume imbalances in between. Okay. Another 1 minute and 15 seconds. Actually, looking at ES for a little more clarity, that high remains untouched so far. Before 8:30, prior to 8:30, we have these lows and that low. Okay, just gonna mark that one out. If you want to go there, and then eventually, since it would have come this far, it would want to go there as well. That's how I'm seeing it right now. And if I see just this price fractal, this would be equilibrium low, right below the equilibrium. So apart from that, I don't think I see anything interesting in ES particularly. NQ is almost about to take the low right there. It's already gotten pretty volatile. And that right there is 9:30 open. It came close, but that is some speed. Extremely volatile. I think I understand why it's extremely volatile. We are at all-time highs. In my opinion, the market would want to play trap, push higher, but then eventually come back down. At least till that daily order block level, right, that I mentioned, somewhere around 25,350 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 25,350. Or, even this one. Like these all seem pretty decent. Now, looking at ES right now, I know it's just been one candle, but the way ES has stopped right inside the range, that tells me that at least until it breaks out from like in some direction, maybe higher or lower, we would be having range bound conditions for NQ as well as ES. So again, not touching anything until unless it's absolutely clear. Now do you see that gap on the RTH? I mean, look at the size of that one. That's 25,500 almost to 25,800 and above. That's 300 handles gap up. 300 handles. What does that tell me? Stay very clear and concise with the trades. Don't try to pull, sniper shots for 3 kilometer far off targets. Stay within the range. Don't try to move too much out of it. Because since it is such a massive gap up, right, for the new week opening gap as well, and also for the RTH gap, right? So since it's a massive gap up, Monday, especially because it's Monday and we have given higher time frame targets like 25,394. So nah, I'm not expecting something special today. Also, there's no particular news, and also adding to that, specifically adding to that, there is Fed interest rate decision on Wednesday, right? Yep, right there, 14 o'clock. So everything tells me this is going to be most likely a very range bound session and probably a range bound day as well. Not a lot of movement, but decent enough to capture good moves, but very exact. Nothing, special, just a simple run, which is very obvious and very small. So see how many things I just told you right there for the background thing. That's narrative. That's you understanding what the market is trying to do. That gap, the RTH gap, the higher time frame target, the 930 open, and the lack of alignment between ES and NQ. All that is telling me to just simply stay put, do nothing. And honestly, again, I don't want to think in terms of the perspective of a trade, but I don't think it's going to be a session where I'm going to engage a lot. That's what I think right now. But if everything aligns, and that alignment being now the narrative that I'm seeing, that's the only thing that I see right now. If ES takes these lows, hits that somewhere, like there are many gaps right there in 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute. So if it hits some gap right there, takes those lows, and NQ remains somewhere in this area and probably maybe even this area, I could be looking for longs in NQ. That's one narrative that I have, because NQ has already broken the high and then it's coming back lower, but ES on the other hand has not taken any high and it comes lower. So it would want to go back up, and with that same logic NQ would also want to go back higher. So that's the approach that I'm holding right now. Let's see what the market presents. Okay, so honestly, like looking at the volatility of 930, these factors are all added up. Like I'm not forgetting any single thing that I mentioned, right? I have to keep all of that in mind, and now I'm adding more to it. Everything only pointing in one direction: low probability conditions, nothing else. Now what I was saying right here was, now look at this range right here, the one that it has formed prior to 830, right? This is 830 right here, and that's the range prior to it. From here from this high blue one to the red one, right? That's the range. And now it has broken both sides of the range. That's good. But look at the volatility, right? One candle, two candles. That's it. There is nothing to act upon here. You just wait until the market is slightly slowed down and has a bigger, area to explore. So that's what I'm looking for right now. A bigger area to explore. If you look at ES has taken that low, but that doesn't make it any interesting to me. I'm looking for it to come into proper discount, which it has not yet, right? So see, it has, yeah, I mean, it has come to equilibrium, but not to discount. That low still remains untaken, and my interest remains in that very low. All right, so I don't see anything that is appreciable here. So I went through this thing, the weekly review, right? I did not share that, and honestly, there's no requirement to share it, honestly speaking. By requirement, I mean it's something that everyone should be doing on their own, like it's personal. But since we are live and we have the time, and well, we should talk about the reviews, right? That helps to gain more clarity nonetheless. So I was watching my trades for the last week, looking into it, and I realized that my till did not even happen in the Thursday session. I tilted way before that, like way before that. I tilted on Tuesday itself, but the process and the rules and everything, they kept me intact till Thursday. Just a moment. So as you can see, we are still in range bound conditions and nothing. Yeah, we were talking about the weekly journal, right? Yeah, right. So I went through the week and I realized that I did not tilt on Thursday, which I did mention on the Friday live stream. I actually tilted way before that. That was on Tuesday itself. So on Tuesday, I did hit a decent run, a decent trade, a very good trade in fact, for in NQ itself. And that was, I think, it would be right here in the executions, right there, that one. So that was the trade that I took, and so I took the entry here. The stop was right above this high, and the TP was somewhere in this region, and that was based on the 50% level between this target, and there was a lower target right there, so I placed it right in between, and that was the TP, and it was taken. And the problem was I saw a big chunk of profit being delivered instantly. By instantly, I don't mean in sense of time. Instantly means in just one particular transaction. And now that gave me hope that I'm going to make this every day and I'm going to do this every session. And I wanted, like, that not only gave me hope, it also showed me my desire to do this consistently, like the professional desire to take, clear shots at TP as well as clear shots in entries, not like booking all through the way, like 10 times, let's say. Not interested in doing that. I never liked doing that, even though I did that, but I never liked doing that. So I've changed my perception in that regard, and I'm looking at it as a desire now, that I like to see big chunks of profit delivered instantly. Instantly means, uh, again, instantly means, like, if I, let's say I sold right here, right? Okay, let's say I sold right here and that was my TP. Once this candle falls, I don't want to book something here, then book something here, and then finally take the TP, right? I want to take that trade and let it hit TP and directly. That's one shot, one clean shot at it. Nothing like, okay, I should protect some position, I should save some profits or something, something, something. But that's my way of function. That's the way I see it. Someone else might not see it this way, right? But I see it that way. So that is the approach that I'm holding right now. And putting that aside, again, if you see NQ, I do think we should see a bullish run. I think we should see this top being taken. We should see this top being taken right there. And yeah, that gap looks interesting, but I'm not very much interested in it, not yet. Let me see if the market even wants to come there first, then we'll see. Again, I have multiple narratives that I'm seeing in play, but the moment the market breaks this range with, along with ES showing a clear sense of direction, then only will those narratives come into play. So I'm waiting for them to break the range somehow, which should happen anytime soon, most likely. As for the narratives, I would just go ahead and discuss them. Again, don't be confused. If you're getting confused, then you should listen more clearly, I would say, because I'm not telling you that this is, and this, like, like, I'm not giving you multiple options. I'm simply saying that these are the narratives that can play out, and I want to see which one the market entertains. Okay. So yeah, the first thing that I'm seeing right now, because the market didn't go lower, which I was assuming originally, and it's consolidating and now moving slightly higher, I would see that high being taken out. Okay. And the same for ES, that this high and potentially that equal high, not potentially, actually that equal high should be taken out. So yeah, that being taken out, and then we see some sort of a reversal, set up a rejection, a structure shift, a gap, all of those things, and then we can look for lower prices right below this low, right? Right. So that's one narrative. The second narrative, which could also happen, is that first the market comes for this low and this low, and then it wants to move higher, which I think should not be the case, honestly speaking. And this narrative is not, in my opinion, very strong. I'm looking at the other one to be much more stronger, as in going higher and then coming down. All right. Look at ES also trying to go lower. Still a very range bound market. I have zero interest in any of its movement. Okay, right. So that would be it. So see, we are still sticking with our narrative because neither ES nor NQ has taken those lows. So the narrative stays intact still. We are looking at that high, and then we want to see how the market behaves. Does it want to come lower or does it want to go higher? Any kind of approach in that regard. Still waiting on that. We have the 950 macro running at the moment. See right there, that ran. It should be there before 10:10 is what my opinion at the moment. Also, if you see, there's a divergence right here in NQ and ES. So let's see, once that high gets taken, we'll have a better idea. Now see right there, ES has made another equal high at a 6889 right there. right there and right there. So it would be wanting to take that. Still watching if NQ can do the same. I'll be back in a moment. That right there is beautiful. As you can see, NQ has delivered what we wanted it to deliver. But ES on the other hand has not. And that is what makes me question any short until ES has taken that high. If it fails to do it, I think I would have to fail to take a trade, right? So that's what I'm watching. If we look at it just from this perspective at this given moment, we've already made it till there. And ES has taken it. Okay. So now in case we get something that shows that the market is bearish and it's a clean setup, a clear visual understanding of it, though we would be going in. I can see it go as far as 887 at the moment. Excuse me. And that's interesting. I don't want to see that gap and I don't want to see it hold it higher. But still a decent gap. If we are to be bearish, if it makes a gap, it would have to break through it instantly. Because ES is definitely rejecting, but it's only rejection. There's nothing to it at the moment. See, I don't want to see that gap. That's exactly what I said. So there's a very small gap now, and I'm okay with that in general. It may sound like I'm doing this so effortlessly. I don't even know if it sounds like that, honestly, in the sense because uh, none of you know me really, right? So that's one thing. So it may sound like I'm doing it effortlessly and cleanly, but lots of effort has gone behind doing this effortlessly. I mean, lots. Years and years of efforts every single day. I showed up yesterday also, even though, like, not with the market obviously, but with trading in general, reviewing all the trades, understanding what I did, and watching ICT. So all of those things were there. That's me showing up every single day. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to get this. That's exactly what I wanted, and that's exactly what I've gone after. And that was not effortless. That was with a lot of effort. Now it looks effortless. It looks like I know what I'm doing. To me, at least, that's what I'll say. I know what I'm doing, but it was not this effortless in the beginning, and not even in the beginning. For most of the journey, it has not been this effortless. It has been very, very effortful. Now, my expectation is to see some sort of a breakdown and a gap, but at the moment, neither is ES showing me that nor NQ. I won't even go long here, like the model that I followed on the trade that I was pointing out just now in NQ, right? The short. So that model could have been followed here also, but not today, not under these conditions. I'm not looking for that model to function here because it will most likely fail, or if not fail, it will make me get stuck in range bound conditions. So that's why I'm not using that understanding. I'm simply using the 2022 approach here. Shorts, highs taken out, structure shift, and probably a gap, and then we'll go lower for this low. Maybe just maybe that low. I'm not looking forward to it though. My approach is only till here. I'm still waiting for that breakdown from here. Let's see if we get it. I do believe this should be it, but let's see if it really is or not. Excuse me. That's not something I was looking forward to. So I don't think I would be messing around with it unnecessarily. Right? Yeah. Nothing here that I really appreciate. Let's see if we get something. I think that would be it for today. We'll see if there's something that shows up in the PM session, but I will still not be live. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you.